You get 2 choices right off the bat, and it's right on the first page, which is sometimes rare.
Yes.
But it's if you take the book and thank him and leave, turn to page 3.
Mm-hmm.
If you stay and talk some more, turn to page 6. So I texted you and I said, this is probably the most Peter run-through that ever happened ever. And so if I could get partially into my first run-through.
Yes.
I stayed and talked to him some more.
Okay.
Because I didn't want to read. Right? Another one. We the best podcast.
Here comes another one, just like the other one. Okay.
Beware and warning and welcome, everyone, to Choose Your Own Book Club.
Okay.
Oh, okay, as in you're ready, or okay, as in...
Okay.
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 So this is a podcast all about the Choose Your Own Adventure books. So my name is Peter, and I'm a librarian.
My name's Abby. I'm also a librarian.
And so if we're punchy, it's because we're recording back-to-back episodes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Which, your catchphrase, of course. So yeah, if we're a little, we've never done that before, so, but just because of time. Because of time. Ooh.
Because of time and space.
Because of time, we just kind of had to do 2 at once, which is fine. But
because of time.
So if this episode's a little weird, that's the only
Deal
reason.
with it.
And it's not because of this book. This book is pretty straightforward.
Yeah. This book is cool as a cucumber, clear cut.
But I think it's appropriate for this book because for you all listening, it will be 2 weeks in between our last episode, our Star Wars episode, and this book. For us, it just happened.
Yeah.
Like we're going through the 5th dimension.
Yes.
So today, we are reading number 21, Hyperspace by Edward Packard. And so, yeah, we're going through every Choose Your Own Adventure book chronologically as much as we can. And this one, you were kind of cramming it a little bit in between in between episodes.
Trying to jam more of it in because I thought to myself as I was reading it this morning, I was like, man, I don't know if I am fully getting the picture of it. I'm going to have to try to read it between our records. And then as I was reading it between our records, I was like, oh no, I think I got the full picture. I think the full picture is just like,
yeah, there's a lot going on here.
I know. I love these kinds of weird ones.
Right. I don't know if we'll be able to cover everything because it's just...
No.
I didn't fully understand it.
That's fine.
And...
I think that's the beauty of life, you know?
I think it's kind of what he was going for.
I know.
Bit.
I would rather have a hyperspace than a hypospace.
Fair enough. But it's not hyper time and space.
That's true. You know, nothing in here, it's like, oh, I'm in medieval times now. Thank you, Edward Packard, for that. Everything does exist, at least as far as we know, in the same exact time period. There's no future stuff.
Or is there?
We don't know.
Because, again, this book tries to do so much at once.
I
but
could
anyway,
not
let's
tell the times of the different things, the different dimensions. I'm assuming that it was all happening simultaneously.
Right.
Like pieces of bread in the same package.
Pieces of bread in the same package.
Yeah.
So a loaf?
Yeah. It's a loaf, but they're different slices.
Yes.
Okay.
And what are you trying to say?
Those are all different space.
The bread or?
Yeah. They're each a dimension.
Sure.
Okay. They're all existing at the same thing, but you could pull them out individually.
Okay, that metaphor wasn't needed at all.
Just like the book. It makes as much sense.
All right, fair enough. So how about let's get into this one as best as we can.
Okay. There's a whole science section in the beginning that I think is important to kind of...
Yes, well, but let's just go through our summary really quick.
Yep.
With our patented segment, patent pending.
Patent pending.
Choose your own summary. So, Abby, you
Trademark
are going to...
TM. Copyright C.
Don't steal. So, Abby, you are going to describe this book in 60 seconds or less, but you're going to choose how you want to do it.
Okay.
So option number 1 is...
A maze?
No, it's not a maze. I told you to tone down the sassiness last episode. You're not bringing it back, all right?
It's a maze.
It's not a maze.
Sure.
So, again, this one's called Hyperspace. So instead of 60 seconds, you're getting it 30 seconds.
I love it.
Or option number 2, I kind of like this one. I'm going to see what you think. This book gets really meta really, really fast. In interesting ways. Maybe they don't pay off. Maybe it's weird, but this book gets super meta. Before that was kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So, but we'll talk about that later. So anyway, this book gets meta because you realize that you're in a book. The character realizes that they're in a book.
Yeah, like never-ending story.
Yes. So you are going to do your summary as Abby, the podcast host. So like a very like meta version of yourself. So a lot of flip around and find out. A lot of like, woohoo, oh no. A lot of like... That's you, right?
Oh, God. You.
You. So you got to do a very meta version of yourself.
That's really funny. Good job. I'm going to do it in 30 seconds.
Okay.
Keep that one for later, though. That's a good one.
Oh, so now I can recycle them.
You can recycle the maze and meta. Okay.
All right, so 30 seconds starts now.
Okay, I'm a kid, and Carl Zinka is a professor, and he moved into my neighborhood, and for some reason this has been really fascinating for me ever since he moved into my neighborhood. And he has a book, and it's all about hyperspace, and I was like, oh, I'm going to go over and I'm going to get this book from him. And so I go into the house of this strange old man who lives in my neighborhood, and I go into his house to get the book, and he's like, hey, I also have this really cool device. Do you want to look at it? And it'll take you into another place into hyperspace. And he pulls a lever, and then you go into all these different dimensions maybe, or otherwise you read the book, and you're inside the book. He wrote this book, and somehow you're in it. It's kind of cool, but it's also really creepy.
Here's the thing. You were talking nonstop and you did a really good summary, and yet you only got to like not even like a fourth of what this book is about.
Oh, I know. Whew.
So yeah, that was a good summary, but I think you would need like a full 5 minutes to summarize this book because this book gets so crazy so fast. So
yeah, it goes off the rails hard and fast.
Mm-hmm. Go where you want to go. Be where you want to be. So this one starts off a little strange right off the bat because there's the warning, like we always get, like, hey, this book is not like other books. There's a special warning and there's a special note.
Yeah, which is unique. Usually there's like a warning and then a special warning.
The special warning is usually like, hey, this book is slightly different because you got to follow a map, or there's like a mystery component, or there's like the UFO inside 5440.
Yeah.
Where it's like, hey, you can't get there by...
Right. It'll explain something about the game mechanic that you didn't know before. But this one has the warning, a special note to the reader from Edward Packard himself, and then a special warning with 4 exclamation points.
So the special note is by Edward Packard. Your journey will not take you just to the stars or other galaxies, but to other universes and other realities. What seems to be real may only be a story, and what seems to be a story may be real. In hyperspace, anything can happen. Anything does happen in this book.
Yeah.
So that's a special note.
Good wishes and good luck, he says. You're going to need it, fam.
And then so the special warning is about, it's not really a warning, it's kind of just more like a prologue.
Yeah.
About Carl Zinka, who's kind of your main character. He's not you, but...
No.
He's kind of the force that starts the book.
Right. He's the old guy who lives in your neighborhood.
Yes.
He moved there and he's
the Doc Brown.
Yeah.
To your Michael J. Fox's character.
Yes. And
what was his name in that?
Marty McFly.
Oh, yeah. Come on. I haven't seen him forever. Why do you give me that?
Because it's a classic. That'd be like saying, what's the name of the guy in Star Wars? Link Starkworker?
I like that better.
Link
Star. Oh, hi, my name's Link Starworker.
Link Starflyer?
Link Starworker.
What's the name of his sister? Lua?
Luau?
Okay.
So anyway, it's Carl Zinka. He's
a guy.
He is a guy.
I imagine he has like a thick German accent with a name like Carl Zinka.
So he's just devoted his life to studying different universes and different realities.
And you're going to be drawn into his quest. To do so, you may have to enter hyperspace, which is kind of cool. But yeah, it says hyperspace is so strange that it almost cannot be described in words. Some people believe that hyperspace is 4-dimensional space, but it also may be stranger than that, involving a world of 5 or 6 or even more dimensions.
Right.
Peter.
So basically, hyperspace is just a catch-all term for the crazy magic that's going to happen.
Yeah. Edward Packard was like, I've got like 7 or 8 ideas. I kind of want to like jam them into one book, though. Got to come up with like a catch-all phrase. Hyperspace.
Right. So Professor Zinka has moved into the neighborhood. And so again, he's the Doc Brown. He's eccentric. He's kind of crazy.
And again, we've got these illustrations by Anthony Kramer, who is not one of our fave illustrators.
Right. It looks very amateurish. It looks like if you drew this, I'd be like, oh, hey, that's pretty good. And you'd be like, oh, hey, can I go into professional illustrations? I'd be like, no, but but it's pretty good. So yeah, I don't necessarily like his work, but it gets the point across, like we said.
No, like the guy looks like, I mean, he's a professor living in a neighborhood doing his science out of his house. So I mean, he probably is not well funded. But he looks particularly dumpy and frumpy.
And very disheveled.
Yeah, like bro's got like some plaid pants. His feet look like buns. Like literal buns. And he has no elbow because you can see by the way his arm is posed.
Oh, yeah. I even see that.
He has literally no elbow. So it's just, and his chin just goes, no chin. It's like jowl, and then like long triangle beard.
So yeah, he's this kind of eccentric character.
Yeah.
Not helped by the illustrations.
Nope.
He says, oh, hey, I'm really glad to meet you. I've been so busy, I haven't had time to call any of my neighbors or meet anybody. The first thing that he says is, oh, hey, I wrote a book.
Buy my book.
He hands you the book that he wrote, which is called Hyperspace, which he wrote in the book. However, Edward Packard wrote this book called Hyperspace, and so it's going to get confusing really fast.
Yes, it's, oh man, this is going to get so wild and weird and hard to talk about. Okay, so he's handing you Hyperspace by Carl Zinka while you are reading Hyperspace by Edward Packard.
Yes.
While we are doing that.
This is while we're doing a podcast about hyperspace.
Okay.
So you get 2 choices right off the bat, and it's right on the first page, which is sometimes rare.
Yes.
But it's if you take the book and thank him and leave, turn to page 3. If you stay and talk some more, turn to page 6. So I texted you and I said, this is probably the most Peter run-through that ever happened ever. And so if I could get partially into my first run-through,
yes,
I stayed and talked to him some more.
Okay.
Because I didn't want to read. I was like, I'd rather talk to a stranger than read a book.
That's surprising because you hate talking
I do.
to strangers. Oh, God. Okay, so Peter talked to a stranger.
Right. So.
Which is weird, too, because, I mean, when you talk to him, like, immediately he's like, oh, let me take you into this dusty, musty library of mine and show you this creepy machine I have.
Oh, yeah. So, and then he says, I thought this part was funny. I'll show you my laboratory, but don't expect to understand much. I was like, well, thanks, Professor.
Yeah, he really.
Not even going to try.
I know.
If you follow him, if you don't read the book, if you read the book, crazy things happen.
Yes. If you read the book, it gets weird real fast.
But we'll try to get back to that.
Yes.
So just one tangent at a time. So if you don't read the book, you follow him into the laboratory. And then so you see like basically the hyperspace machine.
Yep.
Does it have a name?
No. It just looks like a globe. It kind of like looks like a Tesla coil looking kind of thing.
He calls it the hippo laser.
Oh, okay.
Hypolaser.
Hypolaser. But yeah, it looks like a Tesla coil, and there's like a red lever and a green lever. And he basically is like, what do you think? Should I pull one of the levers?
Huh? What do you think, huh?
Should I pull a lever? Which one? Should I do it? And that's like the next choice you get to make.
So he's been working on it for decades, and he's like, I don't know. I've never really had the guts to do it. I think it will work, but I'm not sure. But he's like, but today I'm feeling lucky. So what do you say? So yeah, like you said, you can either like egg him on, tell him to do it, or be like, no, don't do it. So again, to get back to my run through, I was like, well, don't do it, bud. Like, because again, I try to take the safe option.
Uh-huh.
And then so yeah, just to get my run through out really quick because it goes really fast. So no matter what you do, he's like, oh, I'm just gonna do it anyway. I'm just gonna pull this lever.
Yes.
And so yeah, he pulls the lever. He goes into hyperspace. He goes into the fifth dimension. And so there's a couple options. You can pull the lever that he pulled.
Yep.
And try to like go with him.
Mm-hmm.
You can pull the green lever, and I'm laughing already. You can pull the green lever and try to reverse it.
Yep.
Or you could do nothing.
Which one did you do, Peter? Oh my God.
Well, here's the thing, Abby. Look, okay? Look.
Oh my God. You did nothing. I know it. Oh, Jesus. Loyal listeners, which one do you think Peter did? The man who didn't want to read a book.
So I did nothing.
Okay.
So I was like, well, he's the one who pulled it. It's not my fault. So I and I don't know how the machine works.
Oh, God. Okay.
So you leave, but the book keeps going on.
Okay.
And so you go back home, and you get like a phone call, and it's him. And he's like, hey, I didn't have a whole lot of time to talk. He's like, but it worked. I'm in the fifth dimension. And it's basically like this world, except it's a utopia. Everything is perfect.
Mm.
And I never want to come back. I don't know if I can. I can only come back for this, but I wouldn't want to come back if I could. And then so he's like, but yeah, I only have a couple minutes to talk. And then so you say, hey, this is a utopia, right? This is like our world. Do you think we could ever get to that utopia? Could we make any societal changes to get to the utopia? And he says, no, but click. The call ends. Uh-huh. And then so that branch ends with you basically having this like crippling anxiety of like, well, what could we do? Like, we can't get to the utopia, but what was the but? Like, what were we supposed to do? So again, that was my first run through. Didn't read, resisted the call to action, didn't help, had crippling anxiety about society.
Oh my God, that is very that's very Peter. My first run through is also very me. So okay, so when I get to that point of taking the book, right?
So do you take the book or not?
I take the book. I stay and talk to him though, right?
Okay, yes. Mm-hmm.
So I stay and talk to him some more. Then when I get to the point with the laser where you can urge him to activate the hypo laser or advise him not to risk it, I'm like, yeah, go for it. So I tell him, just do it. And I say, science must go on, Professor. And he's like, ugh, your courage. And you have courage, and you have given me courage. So I must act before I change my mind. And he pulls the lever, and then everything freezes instantly.
Yes.
And you're like, and you're like, oh my God, everything's frozen. And then that happens. And then all of a sudden you can move again, but there's two of you. And you're like, what? Mm-hmm. And then you're like, oh my God, there's two of me. What's going on? But there's not two of the professor. And you're like, why is there not two of you?
And that's where it gets confusing.
Yeah.
Because you're like, hey, am I in this reality?
Right.
And this is my professor, or did I skip into another reality, and is that like Professor B?
Right. So you're like, which one of me is me?
Mm-hmm.
Which one of me is this, the world of.
Yes.
So it's very like confusing. So then the professor is like, well, like the easiest way to figure this out is for you and you to go outside and like look around,
right?
Basically. So
and there's a couple options from there. You can either like flip the switches right away.
Yeah.
Or you can go out with you and explore, or you can go by yourself and explore.
So I chose to go out with me because I'm like, we already have a lot in common.
This is true.
I'm going to get along with this guy great. So I go out with myself, and right off the bat, I'm like, the sky's green. Definitely not my world. Probably yours, right? And he's like, yeah, totally. Totally my world. I'm like, whatever. Let's just go home. Then you have the option to like, because Professor Zinka's like, ooh, the portal back to your dimension is closing in like, you know, or it's going to line up again in 3 hours. So you'll be able to cross back over in 3 hours. And then you can go over again. And then you say to yourself, like, I don't know. I don't know if I should go. I can stay here and we could just like pal around forever. What do you think I should do? And you say to yourself, oh, I don't know. Like, how do you usually make decisions? And I say to myself then, like, well, I usually just decide I just make a decision. So I don't know. You decide for me. And
so it's kind of this infinite loop.
Yes. And so then you basically just are like, you know, you can't decide so you just stay and hang out with yourself forever.
Right, because the time lap has
because the time lap closes. And it was very funny.
So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that happens, and I think we're going to try to get to most of it. It's kind of hard to remember how you get to certain branches.
Yes.
But I was telling you kind of in between, like, it kind of doesn't matter for this one.
It really kind of doesn't matter how you get to certain stuff. It just is like a strange trip to get to them.
Yes.
Let's just, I guess, kind of hop around then, huh?
Sure. Hop around and find out.
One way that you get into the fifth dimension. Let's talk about how you get into the fifth dimension, right?
Well, like I said, I don't think it really matters.
I don't think it matters how you get there. There's one way that you can get into this fifth dimension. And I think that way is if you are with the professor and he pulls the lever and disappears, and you pull one of the levers with him. Like he pulls the red lever, and then instead of doing nothing like Peter did, if you pull the green lever, you drop into this like nothingness, and you're just kind of floating, and you can't move or choose or do anything.
Right. So you can either go to the third dimension or you can go to the fifth dimension. If you go to the third dimension, you go back to the real world, but you become a bat.
Ooh, cool.
In like a cave somewhere.
Sweet. I like bats.
Bats are cool.
Bats are really awesome.
But if you choose the fifth dimension option, you go into the fifth dimension, and you're greeted by an old lady.
Yes. And the illustration of that, also not cute.
Right.
At all. The old lady is like, hey, follow me. I have to introduce you to someone.
Yes.
So you follow the old lady. She's like stooped and like haggard. She's like walking over this like clay-like surface of the ground. She walks forward and she brings you over to this tall man.
Yes. And this is kind of what this book is famous for, known for.
This book is very famous for this exact moment. So she brings you over to this tall man.
Wearing sneakers, blue jeans, and a dark blue sweater. His brownish gray hair is rumpled, and he looks a bit older than your father.
And you say, who is he? And what's so strange about him? Because she, you can't see anything strange about him. Just looking at him, he looks like a normal dude.
And so the woman looks at you intently. He is Edward Packard, an author who writes choose your own adventure books. And you read this in between our episodes.
Yes.
And you screamed out because I think you knew this happened.
Yes.
But you didn't know how.
No, I was like, how? Because I had heard that he wrote himself into this book. But I had not gotten this ending when I was originally reading it. And so I was like, oh my gosh, this is so wild. So yes, I was very excited to get here. But I literally screamed what when we got to this. Because you in the book say, you've got to be kidding. And he's like, she's not kidding. Glad to meet you.
So now the book Hyperspace has become the Edward Packard version and not the in-universe Zinka version.
Yes.
Which is very odd and very confusing.
Yes.
And then so basically the ground opens up and Edward Packard, like, he falls into the earth. He's like, whoa! And he disappears. And you don't know what to do. So you can chase after him or you can try to run away. Mm-hmm. If you like go...
Which is great because he like tells you what to do. He's like... You're going to the next page, and he's like, there's going to be cracks that open up in the ground.
Right.
You're going to want to jump around them and avoid them. And you're like, what? And then they open, and he falls through, and you're like, should I jump through him, or should I follow him into the cracks?
So then, you can follow him in, and he's like, hey, tell me what to do.
And he's like, I don't know.
I don't remember this part, which we've talked to Edward Packard a little bit, and... That's kind of his personality, is that, like, I'll ask him about certain books, and he'll be like, oh, I don't remember that one.
He's written so many books
of course,
that I'm
yes.
like,
And of course, yeah. I'm not making fun of him.
But it's so great. I love that. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, it's, like, really funny because, like, your rationale for jumping in after him is like, well, it has to be fine. It has to turn out fine because he makes it through to write this book.
Yes.
But then you're down there, you're like falling at the same pace as him, and then you're like, hey, man, how do we survive this? And he's like, not sure, buddy. I don't remember how it ends. I love it. This book is also famous for another inclusion of another character.
Dr. Nera Vivaldi. I think this is her last appearance.
Yes, so far as we know.
I want to get to that part. Because, again, it's very meta.
But, yeah,
Before meta was a thing.
Yeah, her inclusion, though, I think makes us have to go back to the beginning where we're in the book. The book in the book.
Oh, yes. Okay, so, again, in another branch, and, again, it doesn't really matter how you get here because it's all so jumbled together. And I think that's partially the point, is that it's kind of meta and it's all kind of messy. Mm-hmm. You see this strange woman walking towards you, and she says, oh, hello, my name is Dr. Nera Vivaldi. And you recognize that name. He says, Nera Vivaldi, I know who you are. You're a character in some books I've read. Third Planet from Altair, Survival at Sea, and Underground Kingdom. Which, again, we've all read.
Yes.
But I think I think he's kind of assuming a little bit that
kids have read all of these.
The kids have read all of these, which I definitely didn't.
Oh, my gosh. I love it.
And now, of course, I'm a character in hyperspace. Like Professor Zinka, I've been working to develop a device that would penetrate hyperspace, which is not true.
No.
Because she's
an interspecies communication expert.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Lies.
But I think that's kind of the point, is that Packard just kind of places her wherever he deems necessary.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's kind of, I think that's what she's kind of trying to say here a little bit, which is kind of interesting. So at last I succeeded. I went into hyperspace, so it was only natural for me to be in this book. And you say, but we're not in a book. This is real. I really exist, and so do you. So then from there, it gets kind of meta again. And so then she tries to explain that, did you do this part at all?
Mm-mm.
She tries to explain that, no, this is a book. We're both book characters. What do you want to do?
Oh, my gosh.
And so she's like, hey, I think I want to go off this way. It's totally up to you. And so you can choose to go off with Dr. Vivaldi, or you can be like, no, I'm a real person. I want to go off with myself.
I like it.
And so I'm not sure exactly what happens if you go off by yourself.
Do my own thing.
Mm-hmm. But if you go with her, there's like space invaders that come.
Sweet.
And you're like, do you want to take off with me in the spaceship, or do you want to do something else? And again, basically all the endings are basically like, well, we died, or it was the end, but it doesn't really matter because this is the book. We can try again later. Which is so crazy.
Oh, Nera. I love her.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like part of Packard writing this book so like wild was he understood that kids would just like read it and then flip around for pictures that looked fun or endings that they thought looked cool, and then they would try to like just read those paths then.
Right.
And he was like, sure, I'll just do that.
But this seems like, again, I always appreciate when Packard takes a big swing. This is a huge swing.
Oh, yeah.
And also, like I was trying to say before, like he was talking about like metaverses before it was a thing. Like now it's everywhere, obviously.
Yeah.
But this is kind of like choose your adventure metaverse a little bit.
Yeah, there's like 3 metaverses in it.
Or there's obviously the reoccurring character, but also it's referencing itself. It's referencing the choices that you can or can't make.
And the book within the book.
Yes.
And then there's the book series.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the book that you're physically sitting there reading.
So let's go back to that
The
first
book within
choice.
the book.
The book within the book. So
Okay.
again, when we start out the book, Professor Zinka, either he gives you a book and you can read it right away, or you can just talk to him. So if you read the book, or if you decide to read the book, you are actually reading the book.
Yeah, like there's like the tinier font and it's like indented and italicized.
And so for some reason, it's like a science book about his concept of hyperspace.
Yeah.
But it's still laid out like a choose your own adventure, which makes no sense.
Yeah. And then it kind of like starts to come to life-ish
Yes.
as you're reading it. Like there's aliens that
And it
pop
becomes
up.
kind of like Ender's Game-ish.
Yes.
Where it's like, hey, there are these space invaders, what do you do? And so if you kill the space invaders, it becomes real, just like the end of Ender's Game. And they make you their king because like you're the conqueror.
Yeah, and it's like a huge, huge crown, and you're
Yes.
not happy to be wearing it.
So again, it's a book that becomes real. But again, sometimes the reverse happens where reality becomes a book.
Yeah.
Like he was saying in that special warning.
Yeah.
So I feel this book should have been like number 55, not number 21.
No.
I think he went through for this idea way too fast. But again, like I said, I'm glad he went for it because this is so interesting and crazy.
Yeah, there's so much going on in it that it's like...
Was there anything else that struck you?
Yes and no. Oh, okay. So there's the one path where...
Oh, this is... I just got to that part.
Yes.
Too. Uh-huh.
There's this one path where I can't remember how you get into it.
But again, it doesn't matter.
It really doesn't matter. But at a certain point, you can do a thing and then you like pass out in this hyperspace area and you wake up and you're like in a hospital bed and they're like, oh no, are you okay? And you're like, yeah, why am I in a hospital? I'm not at home. Did I get to hyperspace? What happened? They're like, yeah, man, you got to hyperspace and you're kind of still there actually. Actually, you're not real. You're someone's dream.
Yes.
That they're imagining. It's super weird. They bring you over to this guy who's like in bed and needs surgery. And you know that if he doesn't survive it, that you could die.
Yes.
So then you're like, I got to stay with him because if he stops dreaming about me, then I'll stop existing. And then it's like, wait, are all of us just a dream inside someone's head? What's happening? So then I don't know what happens if you don't go with him, but you can lay down and just accept your fate and die, I guess. Or you can follow Mr. Gravely, which is his name. And then, so you go with him and then to the like operating room. We're going to give you a sedative and you're going to be totally okay. And you're like, no, I don't want a sedative. And the nurse comes towards you and you're like, you can't do this to me. I'm a dream. How would you sedate me? I'm just a dream person. They're like, you're actually not a dream. You're real.
Yeah, it was. So yeah, everyone else was a dream, and you were actually real, which is so weird.
Yes. It was like, what?
It was very like almost like
this?
It felt like Twin Peaks or like Lynchian.
Yes, it was like off the charts bananas. Like, okay, so they just convinced me that I was someone else's dream, but really they were all my dream.
Yeah.
It's just like the trippiest choose your own adventure book ever.
Right.
And the choices too are wild because it seems like no matter what you choose, it doesn't seem to really like get any less chaotic, which is kind of fun too. It's like you make a choice that seems like it'll even things out and it's like, it doesn't matter. It's still wild.
Well, I don't think there's any like necessarily like deaths in this book.
Not really. And there's only 15 endings.
Right.
Which is actually really small. So there's so much that goes on and just like tons of choices.
But almost all the endings are you're in a different space space and place than when you started.
Yeah.
Unless you do the Peter path, where it's just like resist the call to action and just give up.
Yeah. I thought this book was awesome, except for the illustrations. I could have really lived with a different illustrator on this. I would have appreciated that. I thought this book was the best Edward Packard book.
Really?
Yes, it's my favorite. The weirder the book is, the more I love it.
I agree too. I thought this one was just too weird. Because again, it's just too hard to talk about.
It makes it really hard for us to talk about in a podcast, sure. But it made it really fun to read. Mm-hmm. And I would think that for rereading it, it would make it just super, super fun every single time.
I agree. I think if you get your hands on this one, you definitely should.
Yeah.
Because it is just so wild. I don't know.
I would say yes. Read it if you have an opportunity.
Well, definitely read it, but I wouldn't consider it as his best.
I love it. What would you say is his best?
I would say Chimney Rock is his best.
Oh, Mystery Chimney Rock's really good too, yeah.
And maybe Harlow Thromby, even though Thromby is a little nutty.
Thromby is really good too, yeah.
Thromby is good.
You like the mystery ones. I like the ones that are so weird that you're like, I don't know what's going on, but I like it.
And I like Your Codename is Jonah I know you weren't necessarily keen on that one, but I really like that one.
Yeah, I know.
I would put this in the upper half, but it was just a little bit too crazy for me.
Oh, I loved it.
I'm glad.
Give me the weird stuff. Give me your weirds.
Well, I think that about does it. And like I said, we didn't cover everything, but that's okay. I think this one is almost impossible to get through. They almost always are. It's almost always impossible to get to everything.
Yeah.
But this one especially is just so off the wall, mostly for the best.
Yes, definitely for the best.
Well, thanks for choosing us today, everybody. And also, thank you for listening to us for a whole year.
Yeah.
This is our 1 year anniversary. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really enjoy doing this podcast. I think I don't know if I mentioned this to you before, but when I turned 30, I realized I was just listening to so many podcasts throughout my 30s, and then I realized that hey, I'm not really having any deep conversations. I'm kind of just listening to conversations as opposed to having them. Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of one of the reasons I want to start this podcast, is because hey, I enjoy talking to you. It's an excuse to hang out. So
yeah. So then we get to sit around and talk about poopy sandwiches and, how if we could have a superpower, it would be growing our facial hair really fast.
And being a boat librarian.
Yeah, God, I still want to do that someday.
But
if any of your libraries are hiring a boat librarian, just reach out.
So yeah, I really appreciate this podcast, and it's been a really fun ride. It's been a small success, and yeah, we just hopefully just keep growing the show. And so yeah, I appreciate you coming on, and I appreciate your time. And
don't be so cheesy.
I'm being honest.
Cheesy.
I'm being.
Oh my God, stop it! I like you too.
Wow, thanks.
Ugh.
Well, good.
It's been real fun, and I hope that our listeners also are having fun and sharing this podcast with their friends and family members and children, because kids like to hear about poopy sandwiches too. Fart sounds. Dang!
Abby always classes up this show.
Oh, God.
Love it. So yeah, we got some fun things planned for next year.
Word.
We got some fun guests lined up, and got some big plans. We'll see if they pan out or not. But yeah, looking forward to another year of the show.
Yeah, we got some good stuff.
Yeah, and seeing how trying to make it to the end of the run. We got another 6 years ahead of us.
Oh my God, I know if you do the math. Woof. But it's okay because they're funny. The math is good. The math is on our side.
Mm-hmm. And also, just the books get wilder as we go.
Yeah. They just get, they develop their talents more.
Yes.
And we get to make fun of them less, which is a bummer because they get better.
I don't know if that's true. I think I don't know if that's true, Abby.
Well, we'll find out 'cause
when we
I
get to
didn't
Master of Karate, you can.
I can't wait until we get to You Are a Shark.
Yes, I know that's another famous one of just being bonkers. Thanks for choosing us today, everybody, especially for this whole year. It's been a really, really fun ride. Let's keep it going. And you can do that by subscribing and staying on top of recent episodes on the podcatcher of your choice. You can also help this show grow a little bit by going on to Apple Podcasts, giving us a 5-star rating, giving us a nice review. We'll read it on the podcast.
Mm-hmm. I'll read it out loud.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do a funny voice.
I will. I'll do it in vampire voice if you want me to. You can actually request a voice at the bottom of your review.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And you can also follow us on Instagram because we post fun stuff on there and just different pictures, different memes.
Yeah.
Different fun stuff.
Sometimes even stories. Yeah, last time I tagged Choose Your Own Adventure in a story, and then they added it to their story.
Did they really?
Yeah, we're besties now.
That's fun.
I know.
Well, thanks for choosing us today, everybody. I think our next episode, I'm not sure if we're going to go back to a Choose Your Own Adventure book right away, or we might do something in between. But our next numbered Choose Your Own Adventure book is going to be Space Patrol.
Space Patrol!
Looking forward to that. Looking forward to our second year. And looking forward to hanging out with you again.
Wink.
So my name's Peter. I'm a librarian.
My name's Abby. I'm also a librarian.
This has been Choose Your Own Book Club. We'll see you next time.